So the CDC recently issued an alert highlighting the rise in measles cases in the United States and all around the world.
3 of those cases we know were right here in Minnesota. Now, measles declared eliminated in the United States in the year 2000, but declining vaccination rates are increasing a risk of outbreaks. So here to talk about what parents need to know about measles, we've got Dr. Gigi Chawla, the Chief of General Pediatrics at Children's Minnesota. Always great to hear from you.
Well, glad to be back again. Sorry about the topic.
Yeah,
yes.
So let me ask you this, because before, I'm thinking right around COVID, after COVID, as we got out of COVID, we saw that a lot of parents were taking their kids to the doctor and they weren't necessarily up to date on their vaccines. Is that what we're seeing here, or is this something else?
Well, that was true, right? Certainly families made choices not to come into healthcare organizations because they were worried about getting sick.
Right.
A lot of those kids have really caught up on their vaccines, but MMR is one of those vaccines where you get it by 1 year of age. And so it hasn't really been that they missed an opportunity during the 3-year pandemic. These are really choices that are about MMR right now.
So what exactly do we know about the cases that we're seeing in Minnesota and around the country?
Yeah, first, measles is a highly contagious infectious illness. It's a spring virus, so this is the time where we would expect, if measles was going to be around, that people would acquire the illness, and it usually comes into the country from an international exposure. So spring break can be one of those reasons why measles can spread. And as a virus, it causes things that are, you can see red eyes, cough, congestion, and cold symptoms, but then also high fever and rash, and it makes people really sick. Like this is not a cold. This is, most kids coming down with measles are hospitalized even in the ICU. So you want to try to prevent this. It can lead to death. It can lead to a chronic brain infection. And that is the reason that we think so strongly that we should get people vaccinated. This vaccine is unbelievably protective. 1 dose of the vaccine, and we recommend 2, but 1 dose is 93% protective.
Okay. Let me ask you this, because you just mentioned that the virus tends to pick up, especially in the springtime. Is there any concern for people who may be doing some overseas traveling in the future, especially if they're not vaccinated with this? There's got to be.
Absolutely, there is. We want people to be very thoughtful if they're going to be traveling internationally to go into their clinicians and get up to date with their vaccines, and to be very careful when they are traveling abroad. And certainly, one of the things that we're noticing in Minnesota is because of vaccine hesitancy, those rates of MMR vaccine in the community have decreased from about 85% down to 79%, and that sets us all up for having community spread.
Yeah. All right. Dr. Gigi, as always, we appreciate your time and your insight with this very important, timely topic right now.
Get vaccinated.
There you go.
Yes.